So what's going on over there?
Detective, I was first on scene.
All these cars. There's got to be something big.
You
right?
find her, Gonzalez?
Not me. Family out for a stroll. I was first reporting.
Can you show me the body?
It's under the pepper tree, this way.
This is awful. Just awful. Why can't we get any closer?
Can't be much help to you, Phelps.
Similar MO.
To what? The Dahlia? I don't think so.
Celine Henry.
That's a closed case. This is probably another sad sack who lost his temper with a broad who wouldn't put out.
Are you a suspect, Rusty?
Watch your mouth, Phelps. All I'm saying is we got enough to do without reopening closed cases.
Talk me through it, Mal.
Severely battered, on display. Footprints would indicate that she has been stomped. Size of the footprints would seem to indicate a smallish men's shoe. What size shoe did Mendez wear?
You finished?
No, I'm not. At a glance, I would say strangulation was the cause of death. I'll need to do further tests for semen.
Angry boyfriend. If they were married, they'd be at home. Not humping out here in Lover's Lane.
You mind if I examine the body?
Be my guest.
The stomping angle in the Henry case, was it reported in the press?
Sure was. Every detail a copycat would want was there in the story.
Well, we have a name. Can you run Deirdre Muller by RNI?
Back in a second.
If the motive was robbery, why not take the money?
Officer Gonzalez, back 994. Victim of white female Jane Doe on Hill Street. Possible ID of Deirdre Muller. Can you run through the name?
Look at your mark, it's very...
Distinctive. I'll do some comparisons back at the lab and get back to you.
Thanks very much for your help.
Looks like she was tied up.
It does at first, but that would leave a mark on her other wrist, too. I think her watch might have been torn off.
What's this mark? A cut on the finger.
Fourth finger, left hand, a wedding or engagement ring, violently removed.
Detectives, RNI says that Deidre Mahler of 130 North Bonnie Brae was reported missing this morning by her husband, Hugo Mahler.
What'd I tell you? Let's grab the husband, take him downtown, and work him over. Could have this wrapped up by lunchtime.
What about not making assumptions and going on the evidence?
Never the same, are they?
All these cars. It's got to be something big, right? How bad is it? Come on, you can tell me.
You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Sure are clean.
There still might be some playing the boyfriend angle.
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
If he doesn't work out, that is.
Deirdre Muller has suffered enough. More than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her without even the slightest inkling of what she was like.
She was a woman, wasn't she? Well, around about my third divorce, I realized women might not be the pure angels we imagine. You're married, ain't you, Phelps?
Don't make any insinuations about my wife.
Hey, she's a woman.
She's the mother of my children.
You're a father, Cole? But don't tell me your eye don't bend.
This conversation is over. Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Is your father home?
He'll be home soon. He's been out looking for Mommy.
What's your name, miss?
Michelle Eloise Mahler?
Can we come in?
I suppose so.
Thank you. Could you have a seat for me, Michelle? We're gonna have a look around.
He'll be back any moment. Just sit tight.
Don't think this is anything.
My partner will explain everything when he gets back, okay? Nothing to worry about.
Is this about Mommy? Daddy is trying to find her. Please tell me she's okay.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Michelle, but your mother is dead. Do you think you could answer a few questions for us?
Could try.
When did you last see your mother?
Yesterday afternoon, I went to a dance at Belmont High. Mommy was supposed to pick me up, but she didn't show.
So what did you do then?
I was upset. Daddy came instead.
And did he come and get you?
Of course. Some boys offered me a ride home, but that's not the right thing to do.
So you were hanging around the school for quite a while. What happened with your father?
I don't know. I called and finally he answered. He came straight away then.
Some of your mother's jewelry was missing. Can you describe her things?
A ring, a watch, I never paid much attention to that stuff.
I know it's painful, Michelle, but this may be important. She wore a wedding ring?
Amy chose it herself. A rose gold wedding band and a matching diamond and ruby engagement ring.
She wore a watch?
Yes, a yellow gold Elgin watch. Daddy bought it for her birthday. We had a fight. It was kind of a makeup present.
Your mom and dad are happily married?
What are you saying? Of course they are.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your father ever hit your mother?
Just the once. She said she would leave him if he ever did it again. He bought her a brooch pin to make up for it. And he always wore her golden butterfly.
Thanks, Miss Muller. You've been very brave.
Hey! What gives?
Daddy, the police
Go to your
are
room,
here.
please, Michelle. I'll talk to the police.
Daddy, Mommy is gone.
Go to your room, young lady. She's not even out of school. You can't come in here interrogating her like she's
Your
some
wife
kind
was found murdered this morning.
Found? What? But she only...
We have some questions that we would like to ask you.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll do my best. That's it? There's got to be more. That's it? There's got to be more. That's it? There's got to be more. That's it? There's got to be more.
What size shoe do you wear, Mr. Muller?
Why do you ask?
It's routine, sir. Simple process of elimination.
9s, I think.
You know anyone who wears a smallish men's shoe who had a major grudge against your wife? Is there something you would like to tell us, Hugo?
No, I do not. You finished making hints?
So you were here all night. You stayed in while your wife went out to pick up your daughter?
Yes, that's correct.
You got any way of confirming this story of yours?
You son of a bitch. You come here making all these accusations.
You phoned in a missing persons report this morning?
Yeah, that's right. My wife didn't come home last night. She left around 9:30. Michelle was out at dance. She called me to let me know that Deidre didn't turn up.
Was your wife unreliable?
No.
Your wife went to pick up Michelle?
Yes, that's right.
What happened, Hugo? You got any theories? Because we're starting to like you for this.
The car park by the school is kind of dark. Maybe somebody jumped her there. Did you try the parking lot?
Your wife was beaten and then strangled. In your case, you have no alibi and a history of violence towards your wife.
That's not true, God damn it.
I think you set this up, Hugo. I think you kicked up a fuss about staying home for an alibi. Then you followed your wife and murdered her.
You're out of your mind coming in here making accusations like that. Come out into the yard and I'll make you take that back, mister.
Getting hostile with us is a very bad idea, Hugo.
I'm no murderer.
Make some arrangements for your daughter and then present yourself to Central Station for questioning.
You gotta be kidding me, Phelps. Put the cuffs on him.
This is an outrage. I didn't kill my wife.
Your daughter is in the next room, Muller, so I'm giving you a break. Don't make me change my mind, and don't make me come looking for you.
You should go back in there and bust his ass.
1, we need to break his alibi, check phone records, canvass the neighbors. 2, we have motive of domestic violence, which probably goes for half the men in LA. 3, we have no evidence tying him to the crime scene.
Hello.
Detective!
That's that guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard the terrible news over the radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
Yes, sir. They had a row last night. I heard Mrs. Muller screaming.
Did you see Mrs. Muller come home late last night at all?
No, not at all. I did see Mr. Muller put something in the incinerator earlier this morning, though.
I told you he was our guy. Now let's get this bum downtown and into a cell.
Look, there he is now.
This guy's got a screw loose.
Step away from the incinerator. Don't let him get away.
Okay, but no shooting. We need this guy to make the case.
Enough running, Hugo. Hands where we can see them.
With Danny Thomas's brother Amos in The Honeymoon is Over. The Bickersons have retired. As usual, Mrs. Bickerson tosses restlessly, while her husband John, insomniac extraordinary, presents this audible testimony of his constant wakefulness.
Check in the incinerator, Phelps. I'll hold our stupid friend here.
Doesn't look like anything.
I won't say anything more to you. I don't want to get Daddy into trouble.
Work boots. Size 8s.
Why do you do that, John? Why? No good to eat on an empty stomach. Put out the lights, Patch.
The lights are out. How would you know anyway with that sleep shade on?
Something's flashing in my head.
Take an aspirin.
No sign of a wedding ring.
I feel better already.
How can you chew those things like that? Wash it down with...
Elgin wristwatch. Probably the same one snatched from her body.
You got the lights on.
Yes, I'm going to keep them on. Sit up. I want to talk to you.
Please, Blanche. I can't sit up. My head will fall off. Why'd you always have to talk in the middle of the night?
When else can I talk to you? You come home from school and bury your head in the paper, never a word out of you. And you tell me you have to go to bed early because you have
This doesn't look good, Hugo.
I can explain the blood.
Get him booked in at Central, officer. Then put him in an interview room. We'll be speaking with him later. And inform the captain.
Yes, sir, Detective.
Is there someone you can call, miss?
I don't want home, and
You need somewhere to stay, Michelle. You have other family? Grandparents? Aunts or uncles?
call Aunt Helen, but she lives in Bakersfield, and
Call her. We're gonna get someone down here from Juvenile Hall to talk to you in the meantime.
We ought to get some uniforms down here, clean up, take care of the kid.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Belmont High School.
Checking for you, Detective. Belmont High, 1575 West 2nd Street.
Thanks.
I can't talk. There are things I need to do if I have to go away for a while.
Galloway, Homicide Division, badge number 564.
Go ahead, Detective Unit.
Can we get Ray Pinker and a technical services team to a house at 130 North Bonnie Bray Street? And send someone down from Juvenile Hall to look after a young lady.
Roger, 11K. Inform Detective Phelps that the coroner has report waiting. Police morgue downtown when he's available.
Got it, KGPL.
I'm surprised, you know. I didn't make the husband for it.
Always make the husband, Phelps. 9 times out of 10, it's the closest person to the Vic who does the deed. God knows I've wanted to kill some wives in my day.
Lex parsimoniae.
What?
The law of parsimony. Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is most likely the correct one.
You know, you could have said that without getting all liturgical on me.
I'll try to dumb things down from now on.
Appreciate it. And try this one on for size. Rusty's razor.
How's that go?
You blame the guy that's banging her.
Ah, of course. The famous Lex ignoramus.
Closes cases, Cole. Puts a lot of people away, that one.
Any Central Unit, a possible 288 at Belmont High School, 1575 West 2nd Street. Stand by for further unit to handle identify code 2.
11K to KGPL. We'll take the 288. Go ahead with the further.
Yeah, then you throw the cookbook away.
It's Saturday's the spring unveiling, Emmy. It's the first season since fabric rationing's over. We have to go. I told you I can't Saturday. I'm busy. Busy where? You're going on another drive with Davy Gardner, aren't you? So what if I am?
Go, Phelps. I'll take the car and see if I can cut him off.
There he is. See him? If you get him, give him one for me.
There he is, officer.
That's far enough, freak. You move a muscle and you're a dead man.
Car 11K, Car 11 King, come in. Car 11K, Car 11 King, come in.
11K, go ahead.
46 coupe registered to a Mrs. Hugo Moeller has been found in the parking lot adjoining the Belmont High School and playing fields, 11K code 2.
Now, I'm a feller with a heart of gold.
What's your name?
Who's asking?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Name's Eli Rooney.
You've been in trouble with the law before, Eli?
Some.
What are you doing around here?
I like to keep an eye on the children.
Strictly paternal, is it, Eli?
Don't sass me, boy.
A woman was abducted here last night, Eli, and murdered.
And I would love to make you for that, you low-key motherfucker.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that. A woman, you say? I like 'em a little younger than that.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
You're under arrest, Eli. You're in very deep trouble. Get some backup down here, Rusty. We need to get this one downtown and into a cell.
I'll tell them we got a kitty raper coming in. They can roll out the red carpet.
What time did you see the person park the car?
Late last night, after school social, maybe 1 a.m. I've been keeping a good eye out lately. We've had problems with the child molester.
Eli Rooney. We've met him.
Filthy son of a bitch. He was here yesterday before the dance.
Was it him you saw park the car?
I don't know, sir. I'd like to say yes, but the truth is it was pretty dark.
Would you say Rooney is violent?
Yes, sir. I would say so, yes.
Thanks for your help. This is the car?
Yes, sir, Detective.
Have you looked it over?
Superficially. I was told to wait for you guys.
Thanks. We'll take it from here. Blood and skin samples. We better get Ray Pinker out here.
It's from a Chrysler. Could be important.
The overalls are stenciled HM. Muller is a mechanic. I wonder what Eli does for a living. Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need interrogation set up at Central for both suspects being held in the Muller homicide case.
Certainly, Detective. I'll get in touch with the watch commander.
Thank you. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going? I say we make Rooney for this. I think we should lay it on him. He was near the car, he had her jewelry, the DA will love him for it.
Even if he didn't do it?
Who cares whether he did it? You have kids, Phelps? He needs to be taken permanently out of harm's way.
And we let Muller slide?
For a while. He gets a free pass for now.
Phelps, Rusty, thanks for coming.
Can you blood type the shoes that we bagged and see if they're a match?
Sure. It'll all be in the report, but I'm assuming you want the details now?
Please. Cause of death is strangulation?
Correct. Take a look at the samples on the bench.
What are the normal uses for that kind of rope?
On boats, mooring lines.
Correct. Although Ray says that they're sometimes used as bell ropes in churches.
So are we looking for a sailor or a minister?
Well, in my experience, sailors seem to have the greater libido.
Was Mrs. Muller criminally attacked?
No external or internal traces of semen.
Thanks, Mal. Anything else comes up, you let us know. What now?
Back to Central, Phelps. One of these assholes will break under interrogation. I guarantee it.
We've got to nail this guy.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed? Not exactly the happiest of places, the coroner's office.
Carruthers is a good man, professional, diligent. If you're working with a pro, it's easy to overlook the grim realities of a place like that.
Funny job, that, the coroner's.
How so?
No, you don't want them enjoying their work too much. The wrong kind of man can get awfully lonely rattling around a joint full of corpses.
Rusty, that's like something out of the pulps.
You've been reading the same ones as me?
I thought you were usually too drunk to get through a magazine.
You know, if I close one eye and squint, you can just about make out the print.
Put it down like that.
What are we waiting for? You better not go soft on me in here, Phelps.
We'll work the evidence, Rusty. Let him do the rest.
I've been in this job 20 years. I never fired my job.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Papers thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Are they ready?
Bowler's in 2 and the pervert's in 1. Get in there and get a conviction.
Did you know, Mr. Katili? Right. We're going to release you now? Can you give me something?
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
Captain, we were on our way to interview Eli Rooney.
Yes, Phelps, I know. This particular fiend is an old acquaintance. I have tried to reaffirm his belief in a wrathful and terrible God. Whichever way it goes, I'll be dealing personally with him.
Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
Those Vice Boys get anyone inside? Put him down.
What are we waiting for?
You need me to sign some papers or something? I have faith in the Lord. Do you, Senor? You want me to stop trying to look after me? Yeah, okay. Where's the phone?
I've been in this job 20 years. I never fired.
You look like you've had it rough.
You see me asking for your sympathy, boy?
You down on your luck, Eli?
I had worse. My family ate roadkill during the Dust Bowl.
But you have a job. A parolee has to have a job, correct?
I had me a job down in San Pedro. I'm looking for something new.
You better not be lying to me, Eli. If I send an officer down there to find out and it turns out you wasted his time...
Hell, I ain't lying. That ain't worth lying over.
Isn't there anything else you can do? Very much. You were smoking a cigarette in the other room? You need me to sign some papers or something?
I done 14 years in and out of prison, son. You think you can outweight me? You're wrong.
Where's the phone? You know anything about this man? No way. Nope. You going to release me now? Well, are there any leads? Don't joke around. Were you there? Right. You see my mother? No way. Did you know, Mr. Rapowski? He did a lot, yes.
I done 14 years in and out of prison, son. You think you can outweight me? You're wrong.
It doesn't matter. We're not building in this city anymore. Hey, do you guys need to stick around much longer? Maybe. You just at midnight, correct?
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that?
Can you take these places off? No way. Nope. You trying to sit me down? You were smoking a cigarette in the other room? That's correct. Well, are there any leads? I'm no hood. I'm a sinner. That's right.
You looking for some wisdom in that book of yours?
This is your automobile, correct?
You ever tie up any of your victims, Eli?
It's not a nice thing to go calling them.
What would you call them?
I can't say. I learned a long time ago not to go talking about the things I like. Talking about it just seems to get people's dander up.
Answer the goddamn question, Rooney, before I brain you.
See what I mean? Short answer is yes.
You have any preference regarding rope, Eli?
I know a good rope from a bad rope, if that's what you mean. That's not what you mean, is it? Any old rope will do me fine.
A farm boy like you, Eli, must prefer McGay for roping. Am I right?
I prefer braid. Tie hitching braid. It stays tied.
You killed Mrs. Muller and stole her jewelry.
That ain't so. I ain't done nothing like that.
You have no job and nowhere to live by the smell of things. And you need money. You've been in trouble before, Eli. Who do you think a jury will believe?
I've been in trouble for other things, but I ain't never killed no one. I saw that car coming to the parking lot late last night. Man got changed there and then put his coveralls in the trunk. I saw him drop the butterfly in the lamplight and he strolled out, cool as you like. And I went over and I picked it up.
I don't like you, Eli. I think you're an evil man. I think you try to pass off your pain to other people. I can't make you for this case, but my consolation is that I don't think you will be out of prison for very long.
You can count on it, shitbird. By the way, Eli, the captain and the hat squad would like to talk to you next. Any idea what they might want to talk about? For my money, Hugo Muller's our #1 suspect. The evidence is solid. I think it's time we hit him with it.
Hey, do you fellas need to stick around much longer? I ain't talking to you. This is your automobile, correct? Will we take long and responsibility? I have faith in the Lord. Do you, senor? Where's the phone?
Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
You gonna call me or something? Or can I go back to sleep? No, sorry.
Interview's over, son. You can go now.
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
Can you give me a call? Do you really think I'm gonna steal? Maybe. You want me to start coming to look after me? This guy gave his wife a tap. Stay all fair in love and war.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
getting cover or something? I can't go back to sleep.
You got a stakeout down on 2nd later tonight.
I don't have time for your song and dance right now.
Here's where we stand, Hugo. Your next-door neighbor heard screaming coming from your house. You were burning your blood-stained shoes. You have no one who can confirm your whereabouts last night. Your daughter says you're a violent man. We have everything we need to send you to death row, and all you have to say for yourself is, I didn't do it.
I swear I didn't kill her. Give me that lie test. I can prove it.
Why did you burn your shoes, Hugo?
Because I knew you'd never believe me.
Are you going to tell me what I want to know, or do we have to take it out of you in lumps?
Give it your best shot. I can take whatever you throw.
Do you know anything about ropes, Hugo?
As much as the next man. I was a scout. I learned some more in the Army.
You learned to strangle with the rope in the Army?
With rope, with my bare hands, but mainly with wire. I learned a lot of things in the Army, but I still didn't kill my wife.
For argument's sake, what type of rope would you use?
If I had to, I would use a triple braid. Less flex, easier to control.
Your wife was beaten with a tire iron, Hugo. An appropriate choice of tool for a mechanic.
I know nothing about any tire iron.
You're lying, Hugo. You're gonna have to come clean on this.
You got no proof.
Your wife drove a Chevrolet, Hugo. What make of car do you drive?
A Chrysler Airflow.
So I guess that explains why the tire iron that killed your wife came from a Chrysler. We found your wife's car. Someone parked it at the school late last night. Do you have anything to say about that?
It wasn't me.
Where do you keep your work clothes?
I keep them at work in my locker.
Enough lies, Hugo. Your overalls put you at the scene of the crime last night.
My overalls are in the laundry of my house.
Green overalls, bloodstained, with the initials HM found in the trunk of your wife's car.
They can't be mine.
Why, Hugo? Because if they were yours, they'd be in the incinerator too?
Hugo Mueller, I'm charging you with the murder of your wife. You'll be arraigned and taken before a grand jury. Book him, Rusty.
With pleasure.
I have to say I'm disappointed. I stood in front of a troop of reporters and made promises. Promises of swift and fearful retribution, and you bring me an armful of vagary and happenstance. You made the department look bad, lad. Do it again and your career as a policeman will come to an abrupt and ignominious end. You two are back on the streets. Find street criminals, roust them, beat them, and restore some fervor to your police work. Your next case will come when you've revived my faith in your abilities. Now get out of here!
We captured 2 regular army. Lieutenant! Phelps, we've been over this. That sniper barely missed you back on the beach. Until the mission is over, there'll be no more saluting or signs of rank.
I'm in charge here, Metier!
Do you wish to interrogate the prisoners?
No, they're beat. Why they look so sullen? They're wondering why we haven't killed them yet. There is no greater shame than being taken prisoner.
Yet this golden boy actually seems to know what he's doing. See that, boys? He slapped that Jap right upside the head.
It was merely to remind him of his place. His shame was the tone of voice that he used with a superior. I respect the Japanese, Corporal.
Respect, we're here to kill the sons of bitches.
Do you know why we are fighting the Japanese, Private?
With respect, sir, these bastards attacked Pearl Harbor.
And why did they attack Pearl, Private?
Because they hate the US of A and our way of life.
They attacked the U.S. because we cut off their oil. What would we do if another country denied us the gas to run our cars?
Ah, Phelps. I was just discussing with Finbar here how well you were doing. Have a seat.
Yeah, it's my real name. And you can just forget all about it.
You boys have a new case. A poor Hispanic woman murdered near City Hall and left lying naked in an alleyway.
Another naked woman, sir?
Yes. We seem to have had quite a run of them since the Dahlia fiend first struck.
Phelps is politely trying to hint that he thinks the Mendez case is hokey.
Well, young Phelps, you win some and you lose some in police work.
You're happy with the Mueller case, sir?
Over the moon, boys! The DA couldn't be more pleased with the evidence, the witness, and the lack of an alibi. Now, get out there and catch me another sinner.
Guys can get me into Jack Warner.
God damn it all, I asked them to hold the mail.
You have the address?
It's the alley off Aliso between Los Angeles and Alameda.
You're kidding. The next one will be opposite Central Station.
Count yourself lucky, Phelps. Most guys would kill to land a case so close to their desk.
Yeah. It means they can pop in to hit the office supply of hooch whenever they need it.
You know, that ain't a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all, Phelps.
Any Central Unit, Car 16L reports a possible jumper at 8th and Hope. The Methodist Church unit to handle code 2 identified.
Detectives, they're ready to start the show. I'll take you through.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Brothers, Pinker.
Cause of death is pretty apparent. We thought we'd best wait for you. When you're ready.
I'll take the pictures, you do whatever the hell it is you do.
Can we discuss this later?
She took a blow to the head like the others. She was probably unconscious when strangled.
Catch all the good ones, fellas.
Lacerations on the neck would indicate a great deal of force. Only 21 years old. But why the library card? Did he want us to find it? Another wedding ring torn from the finger. No skin under the fingernails. Kiss the blood, BD. The evidence in the Mueller case was solid. I'm not convinced about Mendez.
The best way to get away with murder is to pin it on somebody else. I'll bet a month's salary this is a copycat.
Strangled, battered,
Yeah. We know the M.O. So does every jerk who kills his wife and girlfriend looking for a way out. I've spoken to Brown. He still believes the Dahlia perp has medical experience.
4 women, all murdered, all put on display, all with messages.
Mueller had no message. Look, Phelps, this is getting us nowhere.
Anything for us to go on, Mal?
Head injuries from contact with road, bruising from a small man's shoe, further blunt force trauma to the occipital region at the base of the skull. Could have been fatal, but clear signs of strangulation would seem to rule it out.
Lipstick appears to be a similar color to the other cases. I'll see if I can nail down a brand.
May as well follow the trail. same as a library card.
Proximity to the scene, plus the bloodstains. No way is this coincidence.
We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out. We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out.
House keys strung up like bait on a hook. You think he's trying to lead us somewhere?
Probably all the way to City Hall, that brazen son of a bitch.
That's got to be a code or a cipher. Empty. Where is all of this meant to be taking us? Clearly wants us to find these things. He's left them for us.
There you go, Phelps. You got a new M.O. I told you it wasn't our guy.
Or he might just be getting more confident. Enameled and gold-plated. This was precious to her. son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed? It was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband we should be looking for. Get him, we've closed the case.
Rusty's razor, of course. I don't want to question your tried and tested techniques, Detective Galloway. But doesn't the DA require sound casework before he'll close the book?
And if he's got a confession, and, you know, there's ways of getting those.
I'm sure.
I'm sorry. Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. Detective Phelps and Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPente, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment, ma'am. Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
The charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence.
Did you look at that? Someone turned the place over.
Okay, we have an address. The smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife that served me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
She ever bring anyone else home?
No, she did not. What kind of place do you think I'm running here?
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I've no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
Come on, Mrs. Lepenti, you must have some idea.
Maybe a movie? Maybe church. She was a very religious girl.
You've had a break-in?
No, that can't be true.
The window's broken, the room's been tossed. You seem like the type of landlady who notices everything that happens under her roof. What gives?
Don't take that tone of voice with me, young man.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
We didn't find any jewelry upstairs. You haven't pocketed any evidence, have you?
That's outrageous. Are you accusing me of theft?
We're hunting a killer, madam. I would have expected a little more cooperation.
I've said it right from the start. We should come down hard on the husband. Let's check his place out.
Antonia was so innocent, Detective. Catch this killer.
You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
Think there's anything to the divorce angle?
I got friends who work at the Examiner.
Calling you
This is a crime scene. All of you move along. Advice?
I've said it right from the start. We should come down hard on the husband. Let's check his place out.
That's the cop from the newspapers.
This guy must have escaped from the loony bin.
Goddamn captains make me resubmit the paperwork.
What do you need from me? This is your crime scene. Do your thing.
You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Maldonado is in apartment 304.
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest. I got 100 pounds on your wife.
I don't want no trouble. What do you think? I got nothing.
Damn. They got some decent shots in there. Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no.
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night, goddammit! You think I'd kill my own wife?
We should get the whole place going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
Doesn't appear to be connected. Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place. The El Dorado. This will take some explaining.
Maybe one of the neighbors took notice of Angel's movement. Got no alibi, he's toast.
What do you want?
LAPD. We're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks.
No good. There's nobody here.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm playing with my kids.
LAPD, were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated, and I had the kids last night. I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Hello.
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here, and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
The hired help at the El Dorado might have seen the broad the night she died. Maybe the regulars, too. We should check it out.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
Car 11K, come in. Car 11K, come in.
KGPL, 11 King, over.
11K, Captain Donnelly and Detective Sergeant Finis Brown urgently request your presence at Central. A new letter has been found.
11K, en route.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
I think this bum took a swipe at me. Put him down with my sap.
I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with one.
Goddamn Peruvians are having a season from hell.
That's that guy from the paper.
Off that big tape.
Hey, don't mind me.
I want to make homicide. You know, you've got it made. You can get to that task.
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all the fares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and typed from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case. Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
That's why we called you in.
Do you think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nutjob's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley? Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, A superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
Vidalia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
What are we waiting for?
Yeah, the bum took a swipe at me. Put him down with my sap.
See him? Saw his picture in the paper. He looked at Kate, the lady that cut up like a dahlia.
Yeah, I want to make homicide. You've got it made if you can get to that desk.
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe. She didn't stay long.
So if you didn't kill your wife, who did? You better come up with something, Angel. This doesn't look good.
Fuck you. I loved my wife.
You're good, kid. You murder your wife and you just sit there as cool as a cucumber.
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
I think you killed her, stripped the body of jewelry, and then went back to her apartment for the bracelet.
You should get a better hat. The sun is getting to your head.
You're off the hook, for now. What about the charm bracelet? Was she wearing that?
You know about that? She never wore it. She didn't like the message. She kept it locked up in that box of hers.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
You didn't want anyone else to have her. You didn't like the idea of other men fucking your wife, them slipping it to her, the idea that she might like it.
Vete tomar por culo!
Easy there, Angel boy. Ease it back a notch.
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
You're lying through your teeth. You killed her and your brother's in on it.
You don't know what you're saying. Why would I do that? Hippolito's my brother. But he would never lie for me about killing Antonia. He knows he'd go to hell for that.
Keep it to yourself, kid. Let it eat away at you like poison. You're going back into a cell. We'll be waiting when you're ready to spill your guts.
Are you taking my wife's murder seriously?
I'm stumped. Ideas?
The hired help at the El Dorado might have seen the broad the night she died. Maybe the regulars, too. We should check it out.
Okay, girls, please fill my cigarette.
You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
I want to make homicide. You've got it made. That's
Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
These letters? Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
Now we sent another.
You know, I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. Have you seen the body? The fucking case just gnaws away at your guts. Hollywood. Every prom queen from every fucking hick town in America turns up here. Where do they end up? Gutted on the fucking sidewalk.
The handbag was left just up there, overlooking the market.
Could have come here from the start and saved ourselves a day's legwork.
I got a call back for that Universal Chorus line.
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney, what can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
She looked like she was having a good night to you?
Hard to tell. Might have just been the booze that was making her seem maudlin.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think. She seemed to know the guy.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Hey, don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh. No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
Why cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. Must have seen it during the war.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
Just don't know how to dance to bebop.
got a callback to that Universal chorus line.
This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off.
Clem!
God damn it, get after him, Cole. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road. You should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy. Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect. You gotta get me closer.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Now, lads, what am I to do with you? I give you a perfectly good murder. A case any homicide man would be happy with. An affront to our way of life and our Californian dream, and a chance to deliver some retribution. Are you not believers, lads? Homicide men are the right hand of God. You need to back out of here slowly and take a long, hard look at yourselves and your methods. Ask yourself what you are prepared to do to put these creatures behind bars. It's the streets for the two of you until I can find some forgiveness for the foppish behavior you've been exhibiting.
Why are the guys giving it to the doggies? They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do at that. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
We'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads. How can we fail? Skip with the Shadow leading the show. Who the fuck is the Shadow? Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming. You're sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
We ran the light on Olympic, and we finally collared him on Temple.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with one round.
I thought this was such a nice area. It's him, the cop from the newspaper.
Goddamn captain's making me resubmit the paperwork.
I think he's a bit of a gangster. He's treats me nice.
Greetings from sunny California. How's it going to stop? A fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Yeah, Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows make it the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body? Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same. No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene. Don't think this is any use to us. There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks for your help. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed? No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand? At least the rain stopped. We can change back into those white bucks.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
it's procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Tarleton? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules them out as a suspect.
I wonder why the picture was turned down. Need to check if she was a regular. Doesn't tell me anything. Junk. Circumstantial. Baron's bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive. If you'd excuse me, ladies. Doesn't give me anything to go on. So she went out without her handbag? At least she was spared that particular indignity. She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. See if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene. Lars was out in the rain last night.
boy like that should go into politics.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross, then send some uniforms over?
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks, ma'am. For the record, Mr. Tarleton, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
So you don't know anyone who would want her dead?
No, I don't.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
And?
I was playing pinochle with some of the guys. Teresa had a few belts too many. She said she wanted to go out dancing.
Mr. Tarleton, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Tarleton. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Tarleton. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life.
Help me out.
Search the place. We need something on this guy, something that'll stick.
I can't believe Teresa's dead.
Any ideas?
You want my gut feeling? I'll tell you. This guy did it. Now we just gotta find some evidence.
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true. You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
having you.
This is a taste for